The finest ingredients are right in the mix.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back. It's been a while. I have returned to you at the turn of the tide. Yes, it is time. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you feeling? Once again, the Dukect Lounge is back online. How are you doing? What are you doing? What? What's on the entire agenda today? Well, I got something for you. Something good for you. And today we're talking about the supposedly the Nintendo Switch Online might be getting a bit of a upgrade, as you can see right here, as the GBA emulator is basically an online league. Well, take this with some grain of salt. This was happened. It was reported on Monday, this past Monday, and it was right here. According to see Ethan Gatch here on the MSN News said the retro library for Nintendo Switch Online might be getting beefed up any day now. Game Boy and Game Boy Advance emulators for the service developed by Nintendo have apparently leaked online. And it looks like a long list of games, including Mario Kart, Golden Sun, Pokemon, Pinball, Ruby and Sapphire all been tested on it. Twitter user Trash Bandicoot tweeted on Monday that 4 files leaked on 4chan earlier today, which include emulators in development by Nintendo Europe Research and Development. Nerd! The first, called Hyo, is for the Game Boy. The second, Sloop, is for the Game Boy Advance. According to Trash Bandicoot, both emulators are buggy but functional, and the leak files can screenshots for the games being tested out on the Switch. So here they are. These supposedly here, the Mario Brothers. All these things are being tested out for this stuff here for the Nintendo Switch. Another Twitter account, Rago Hunter, went further and started tweeting actual camera footage. The emulators booting up and running on Switch. That account no longer exists due to recent tweets can still be viewed via the Rayback machine. The member of the Pokemon and Gaming Leaks accounts, Porky Leaks, told Kotaku the emulator only worked on the Switch dev kit and shared footage of the emulator running Golden Sun via another member who goes by John Leaks. According to Twitter user Mondo Mega, the files show that tons of Game Boy Advance games have been tested on an emulator. That doesn't mean any of them are guaranteed to come in the future. The list includes titles like the Minish Cap, the Metroid Fusion, Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones, and Mega Man Battle Network 2. So this is going to be very interesting, as this will add on to not only the NES, SNES, and Sega Genesis, and the N64, but this will be also adding into that type of, from the Switch Online, this is something very big, and hey, it will maybe justify the whole extra huge film $20 annual subscription to a 50-year, $50 for extra $30 into it. Because I think that would probably justify that and the updates to more. I expect a Nintendo. I expect a Nintendo. Treehouse or whatever. Nintendo Direct. Sorry, allergies. Ugh. A bit of a spring and everything. Yeah. Anyway, it looks like the give it that. This will be I think it will justify it, the 50-year. But I will still be buying a lot of stuff from my Wii U catalog and everything. When I get a brand new Wii U, hopefully in the next couple months, I will get a brand new Wii U, so I can just buy all the stuff and keep it in the memories and everything, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's what I'm I'm looking to right now is the, if this is true, it does bring in, okay, we're going to actually start, bringing more older games. And I wonder, are they going to do any DS games? Are they going to do any DS games for the Switch? Because that's going to be something a lot of people are going to be looking into, because one of the most biggest and important, it's one of the biggest, titles and games that were on, Nintendo Switch and everything, and not Switch, but Nintendo DS, the 3DS and such. Will games like, for example, Kid Icarus. I mean, that's only on there. Will games like, let me see, what else? Like Star Fox Assault, I think. That game, will that be getting onto the consoles, or will it be only available on the will they be only available on the Wii U because of the only way that the Wii U has that functionality? These are questions that a lot of people are just slowly but realizing that they need to really get into. These questions that need to be answered now, and I mean, eventually, because those games will be lost media, and that when you have that lost media, that type of you know, the lost media that most people will never get to play, or really never had a chance to play. They never really had a chance to connect to. No, they really didn't have a chance to actually uh, you know actually build a connection to this to the game franchises, or you know forgotten treasures, stuff like that. So I wonder what's going to be in the future for this stuff. What's going to be the future for these, not just this or GBA emulators, but for stuff on the whole. They're going to put stuff on the store, which they did for the Wii U, and a lot of people were, again, people are trying to get back into the Wii U and everything else. Now, they're buying. Trust me, the people who want the Wii U, like, oh, I love the Wii U. Not really. They're not going to love it. They're just going to keep it with dust and everything. I've been, what, like I said, I always, and I do me always tried to get, I was loyal to that system, that sort of thing. But no one else it was. Most people weren't. No one cared. So I don't know what Nintendo's game going to be, because again, there's a lot of games that are being forgotten, and this will bring up piracy again. And well, if you want to curb the piracy problem, is getting this being getting these games into the store or into the online service you have, because a lot of people want to play these games, a lot of people love these games, and you know there's a connection there. There's always something. People who will love those games, they love playing these games, they love the connections, the memories these games have. It's just that I hope that Nintendo teach this, gets this right. I hope Nintendo actually sits and actually does these things. Get it right. They look and say, okay, what do we need to do? What do we actually going to fix this issue with? You know, fix this issue of availability. They can do it, and hopefully they start doing it soon. Because if not, what's the point? What is you're just sitting here wasting time. And quite honestly, mm, quite honestly, yeah, you know, but yeah, I just think the best way um, to like I said, is availability. And if you have the stuff available, people will come to it, people will watch it, people will be play the games and do all this type of stuff. Nintendo, the ball is in your court, and not just doing this drip 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 thing. Put the stuff on the store. It might take a while to do it. I don't know why the Switch and everything else, because a lot of people do love playing this stuff mobilely and everything. I mean, it's just one of the best things to do is sit back and chill and play on the Switch, you know. And I mean, heck, you put wireless headsets there. I mean, you put game folders there very recently. So why not put again, a store and a way to do the a way to actually figure out the Wii U stuff here, the way to do it. Because if you can, there's a lot of people who will be happy for that. But that's just my thoughts. Anyway, I'm going to take a little break here. And when we return, I'm going to be talking about, oh boy, Netflix. Oh, yeah. Netflix. My goodness. We're going to talk about Netflix and everything that's, the downfall. And should they be panicking? Well, I got my thoughts on that. We'll be right back right after this here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thanks again for watching and liking and subscribing to me, Dukect. We're right back right after this. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, back with you once again. And dearly beloved, we are gathered here today as well. Netflix. Oh no. Netflix is broken. It's losing subscribers. Oh. Well, this is a thing. A stock has plummeted 35%. Netflix, ladies and gentlemen, they're on the bit of on the losing side. First time in their entire existence. And what happened? Oh man. What happened? Um I mean, how they lost all the subscribers and such. Let's look here, right? Let's see where it is. You know, there you are. It's right here. As it's company reported, like on Tuesday, a couple of days ago, it's lost subscribers for the first time more than a decade. Exactly just basically shocked Wall Street since shares plummeting 35%, wiping out 50 billion in market cap. And this is after the company's stock have dropped more than 40% 40% a year to date. Yeah, exactly. The whole thing looks like bad for Netflix here in 2022. Once bullish experts and analysts who view Netflix as the linchpin of a transforming entertainment industry are now concerned about its growth going forward. And they're wondering what the future of the company and all streaming might look like. What worked until this point may not be working anymore. Michael Nason, a media analyst at Moffett Nason, told CNN Business, the world's changed. The question for Netflix, once untouchable king of streaming, has gone from what's next to what now. Let's see right here. See, they lost over 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter of 2022. Now, 200,000 out of 22 million, 21 over 200 million global subscribers may seem like more than a rounding error, but consider that service was expected to add 2.5 million users in the first 3 months of this year. That's it says right there a low bar that had already spooked investors in January. As that wasn't bad enough, Netflix said it expects to lose another 2 million subscribers in the current quarter. The company blames many factors of its subscriber exodus, including competition and widespread password sharing. Really? Yes. Um, let's see. In its letter to investors Tuesday, Netflix also pointed fingers at micro factors that are affecting many companies right now, such as the sluggish economy growth, increasing inflation, geopolitical events such as the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and some continued disruption from COVID. Pulling out of Russia alone cost the company 700,000 subscribers. But even without that, the company still would have missed out on its own expectations by nearly 2 million. Zach Sakai, the vice president of programming at research-based media firm Magid, I believe Netflix needs to answer two questions to change its current narrative. How do they turn the ship around and start increasing subs again? And how do they generate more revenue per sub? I think it comes down to, as Office does to content, Shikia told CNN Business. Netflix just has to remember what made it so special. What made it so special was that it had the content and volume of content you couldn't get anywhere else. That's the value proposition they need to return to, but it's not as easy as flipping a switch. No matter how many billions Netflix spends on courting big talent and funding spectacular productions, if making great content was easy, everyone would be doing it. Spending more doesn't equal hits, Nathan said. Everyone's spending more. Another way Netflix could boost revenue is clamping down on password sharing. The company alluded to that Tuesday, saying it will focus more on the best to monetize sharing in terms of passwords. And last month, Netflix said that over the last year, it's been working on ways to enable members who share outside their household to do so easily and securely while also paying a bit more. While we won't be able to monetize all of it right now, we believe it to be a large short to midterm opportunity, the company said Tuesday. But making customers pay for the privilege of sharing passwords could actually have a negative impact for the company, according to Nathan. Netflix already raised prices earlier this year, and any additional costs could alienate its base, which is already strapped for cash because of the economy and a surplus of streaming options. Is there going to be a spin down to cheaper plans, and or will the goodwill Netflix has generated just go away? Nathan says. Um, Another area to help Netflix advertising. CEO Reed Hastings has historically been strongly averse to adding commercials to the service. Not anymore. Think of us as quite open to offering even lower prices with advertising, said Hastings during the Tuesday post earnings call. Adding a cheaper advertising tier is already happening across streaming marketplaces. Disney, Hulu, HBO Max, which is owned by CNN partner company Warner Bros. Discovery, already offers such options. It makes sense for Netflix to eventually join them, Shakia said. We know that consumers don't have a problem with advertising as long as it's cheaper and there's no commercial option too. That said, with advertising comes with certain content restrictions, and that's something they may want to avoid. Ultimately, they need to ensure they have the content that consumers want, and then ensure they are monetizing that in the best way possible. Netflix getting its groove back is not important to the company and its investors, but also for all of streaming. The platform is synonymous with the industry, so if Netflix is struggling, that raises questions about streaming as a solid business model. On Wednesday, morning shares of companies that have built much of their business around streaming, such as Disney, Roku, Warner Bros. Discovery, and Paramount, were all down alongside Netflix. Netflix said Tuesday that it will continue to improve the service, and it remains at the top of the marketplace that is changing how people consume entertainment, so it has that going for it. This is just a reality check that is inevitable for a business head. Was down for the industry leader facing multiple new entrants to the marketplace. I think that's one of the main issues here is that yeah, I mean that's what the issue here is. Um, this is the problem, you know. You know, that's the that to me the issue is right here. Netflix, they have been so coasting. Netflix has been coasting for so long that they just realize. Meanwhile, when you look at, say, let me just get rid of this thing. Let me just go over here. Let me check here. Share the screen about this part. Let me just go here. Um, Meanwhile, you look at HBO Max. They have added 13 million subscribers because they have more interesting content, better content, much more, better shows, better things, and also same thing as Disney Plus. Um, all the stuff is going on with Disney. They're still having a really strong growth as well, and I think the reason why it's working for HBO Max and Disney and everything else, as this round has uh, 76 million subscribers and such. Um, the reason why I think it is that the first, I think the HBO Max day on date movie premieres thing really helped it. Now I think it's going to be, now I think they really have, eventually I think that is, I wouldn't be surprised they might do this for certain movies day of mixing both. But I think that's probably going to be for like maybe higher tier members of HMX. But I think the one thing HBO Max has is a better distribution of content. Same thing as such like you know, um, and by the way, it's not about passwords stuff here, which by the way, John Stankley, who wasn't the boss of HBO, they said this for a password sharing. We were thoughtful about how we built the product and that we gave customers enough flexibility, but we don't want to see rampant abuse and all this stuff, which I think password sharing is not much as people they all say it is, but it's not really that much of a big deal. Uh, but I think the reason why HBO Max, Disney Plus, and Amazon, all these stuff is working is because they have better they distribute the content better weekly. They might drop like 1 or 2 episodes weekly, um, you know, and build up conversation. I mean, they're just doing the entire seasons of Stranger Things, or the entire season of Bridgerton, the entire season of Mind Hunters, the entire seasons of remember that show. You have entire seasons of like the Ozarks, just an entire season, just shotgunning it, and bam, that problem. That is the issue right there. Is that you continue to just have like this clump of episodes, and you know, um, that um that to me, you know, that's one of the issues of what's going on. Is I mean, this discrimination of content, just doing all this stuff and putting all this stuff there is not really making the marinate, and it hurts shows. Like say, it does hurt them because you get all that stuff in. You're like, I can't really, you don't really appreciate it. And there's always and all this other stuff here. Looking at what's going on, there's a bit right here. Let me just put this thing here, right here, ladies and gentlemen. Netflix kills the Bone show. Remember, um, you know, Netflix animation. They, this is again has not been, this is on yesterday, of about the entire, Dismal Call and all this other stuff, which they look like they're trying to get packed, but yet here it is. Um, the acquired, yeah, exactly. A focus on this is a vaunted animation department that that had like some really good stuff there. I mean, I would look say Cuphead, or you look at say for example the Castlevania series. Um, but now look at what's going on here. Um, you know, that let's see, Phil Reiner, the executive director of creative leadership and development of original animation, he that person is gone for the company this week, and several high profile anime projects, which has been just Bone, the comic series Bone, which has such a history trying to get on television, trying so hard to really get to that animated stuff, which um you know, that this whole thing has been a series of graphic novels that has been one of the most a fish out of water, trying to have it was a lighthearted comedy, dark fantasy thriller. It's been tried, um you know it's one of the most highly loved, you know stuff from like Jeff Smith, and he has been trying to get this show, you know, onto everything else. I mean, look, I'm saying here, right here on Wikipedia, here it is. They've been trying to late '90s, was trying to get this thing get into was Nickelodeon Movies was trying to push the adaptation of Bone, and they wanted to in fact, it's hilarious that Nickelodeon wanted the Bone Cousins to be voiced by child actors and wanted the film soundtrack to include pop songs from the likes of NSYNC. And considering what the stuff that Bone goes through in those comics, I just like, yeah, no. And then Warner Brothers Pictures bought the rights to the film series, and then this website confirmed that on March 13th, they had a deal with Warner Brothers that the Bone saga into a film series. And further information was given to 2011, saying that 2 scripts are already written and rejected, and a third is currently in the works, and will likely yield 3 separate computer animated 3D films. In January 2012, Patrick Sean Smith, the creator of the TV series Greek, was hired to write the adaptation, and that P.J. Hogan was attached to direct the feature to be produced by Lim Pictures. Let's see, P.J. Hogan. Let's see. What has he done? Oh, okay. Oh, the Peter Pan movie. That's interesting. I think he could have done something. Um, yeah. We said he was going to be doing something with this, but um, something happened, and then it just didn't work. um, and you see them pictures down Logic. In November 2016, Mark Alburn had been hired to direct the animation Warner Animation Group. Osborne, along with uh, Adam Klein, was set to write the film, which would have been first in the planned trilogy. Then in 2019, the project was picked up by Netflix for an animated series, and here we are right now. They just was canceled. I don't know what this is. It's like one huge cursed series. They were gonna do a video game. Um, they have video games about Bone out of Boneville and the Great Cow Race, and they were both available downloaded on box form on Telltale's Red site. They were available on Steam, and they were delisted on Telltale's closure. So yeah, I'm like, wow, this this entire thing, the Bone series, has had terrible luck, ladies and gentlemen. This has had a terrible, terrible luck of really getting just been waiting for this entire thing. Has been getting this whole you know since 1991 and now to 2004 when it ended, and people were excited and like frothing at the mouth for it, and now here we are, Netflix just completely just imploding on itself. And instead of actually this all this information, all the original animation, all this stuff is going on, it's just now it's gone. And you know, and here's the sad part is that when you go into the nitty gritty stuff, it gets a little bit sad because but the report written by Drew Taylor also devolves into Netflix overall treatment of animation creators who were once lured to the company with promises of creative freedom and are now frequently tossed stacks of data to justify the company limited advertising for and support of its animated shows. The company's slow response earlier on to the news that Elizabeth Io's excellent, and of course it's canceled. City of Ghost had won a Peabody Award. EDL was forced to basically launch a single person campaign to get to even get the service to acknowledge the victory. This after Netflix kept her in suspense whether the show was going to get another season. This show, by the way, another issue Netflix has. They just cancel stuff just to say, even if stuff wins awards, if it doesn't fit like the data or analytics, they don't care. And this stuff is one of the, I mean, yeah, it's sad. And now you have like a grim picture, like, since almost every conversation with big name creators comes line, like so and so is now at Cartoon Network. Meanwhile, Netflix is apparently holding up its target animated show at the moment, a series that it doesn't produce but only licensed from DreamWorks, The Boss Baby, which is nice. Okay, there's an audience for it. You know, there's an audience for it, but I don't think the best animated show should be like the baseline should be the Boss Baby. You understand? You know what I'm saying? I mean, stuff like, say, for example, the Castlevania show. Um, I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised that it was probably Capcom. I don't know, Konami. I wouldn't be surprised if Konami was the ones pushing the stuff there. Konami, and everything else. Um, Cuphead. I mean, after the first season, I'm like, I mean, it's there, and that's it. He-Man. There's a second cartoon of He-Man, and I know people don't like the Kevin Smith one, but there's a different one, which is so confusing, and it distracts how this whole thing works. And honestly, they should just go with that and master the universe with that. But yeah, the animation. It's confusing, and people just don't. Ah, this is again. I look upon this show. I look upon what's going on, and you know, hmm, you know, just. Hmm. Ugh. It's kind of sad that these shows never get a chance at life. It's sad that these shows never get a strong connection with its audience because of how Netflix has failed. Netflix has failed its own its people. It's failed, ladies and gentlemen. It's failed. It's it's failed. It's um its own they're the producers, and they failed the people behind the scenes, and they keep failing the people who watch the shows. You are failing them. Netflix, you could be doing better. You should be doing better. But instead, what are you doing? What are you doing, Netflix? It's just doing the same stupid, moronic stuff that has hurt that's hurting your company and hurting its own um, animation and everything. Until you start looking at until you start, I really think that, you know, until they start, um, you know, until they start, um, really, uh, you know, to start actually bringing the community, like reminding themselves, okay, what makes the content good, and stick with the shows, and advertise them, not with maybe a little bit commercial, but outside the show, maybe on Twitter, Facebook, all this other stuff, and change the distribution instead of just shotgunning them. Maybe start releasing them once a week. Start saying, well, new episodes will be on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Have watch parties. Have things that people will connect to. Forums. I think maybe you could do like that. Maybe an online forums and such. Bring back ratings, people like that. Things like that give people a way to actually connect to connect with other people who want to watch the shows. If you do that, I truly believe people will come back to this. Will come back to your shows. Will come back to your stuff like that, and have stronger content, better content, and ways to make sure that you are back on top of the streaming world. That's what I think you need to do, and I think that's at the end of the day, if you do that, a lot of people will be a lot happy. Yeah, the people behind the scenes will be a lot happier, but also the people, your audience, your customers will be happier as well if you start, maybe, you know, change things instead of just trying to do the same things that was good years ago, but maybe switch things up. And that's what I think. Anyway, we're gonna take a small little breakity break. I'll be right back as we're gonna talk a little pro wrestling. And yes, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Then we're going to talk about that as I will go into that forbidden door. We'll be right back here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thanks again for being here. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thanks again for being here. We'll be right back right after this.
Oh my God! Woo!
All righty. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Let's get into this Lovely topic, ladies and gentlemen. The forbidden door has been opened, and there it is. Last night, the episode of Dynamite, which is actually really fun. I mean, some good stuff. I mean, I really did enjoy Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly. Good stuff overall. Your BBC, the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm loving Willow Yuta and Willow Yuta, Danielson, and Moxley. All three are awesome together. Hopefully, they stay together for a good long while. I like the fact that this announcement was pretty much hijacked by, I think, Adam Cole, pretty much like, basically taking Omega's spot. I mean, he called, like, earlier in the show, he's like, this is why I called this the Undisputed Elite. See, right here, we're just taking over. Like, yeah, and it's kind of mirroring the fact that, Jay White's take over the Bullet Club. Just like, you just taking out the old people. Just kick out the old folks and bring in our new, that sort of thing, you know? Um, yeah, switch. I like, honestly, it's hilarious though. Um, and then, that sort of thing. I can't. I mean, this whole thing was actually really good. Because again, the called the AEW New Japan Super Show called Forbidden Door will be taking place at the United States in Chicago, Illinois, Sunday, June 26th. And it's right here, right here. Tony Khan committed on two companies working together because he believes a working relationship is mutually beneficial for both, what it means for wrestling fans and more. And here's the highlights in the interview. It says AEW and New Japan collaborating on a pay-per-view event together. He said it will have been unfindable to collaborate on a pay-per-view when AEW first started, but a lot has changed since then in the world of wrestling. I believe we've earned their trust. We were working closely together last year, but the more we collaborate, the better relationship has become, and the more trust we've built. It's coming at this huge event on pay-per-view where the stars of AEW and the stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling colliding at Forbidden Door. And you talk about mutually beneficial. It's mutually beneficial relationship. Many of our top stars in AEW have wrestled in New Japan and held titles there. A lot of bigger names in New Japan have never been to AEW, and there are a lot of great wrestlers that have been in the ring with Okada, Tatsuya Naito, Kota Ibushi, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. So many others. I'm excited to see fans with the matches they always want to see. This is gonna be the exciting thing, and yeah, this is gonna sell out. I'm betting this whole thing is going to sell out. I'm only pissed that this is not in somewhere I can get to. Oh man, why can't this happen? Like, say, in New York, or like, because family New York could just crash there, or like in DC, or maybe in Texas. Maybe I could bum, sit back and and bum, lay there with I think Chris Morgan. Oh gosh, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll both review something else or something like that. But yeah, I don't know, but I'm just a little pissed at that. I really, really, am happy for this. The Tony Khan AEW. I mean, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm so happy about this. I'm happy about this whole thing because um, I mean, shoot, I never thought we would see this happen, especially the last time you had that's a little too big. Just get this one. Maybe it's just a good one. Another copy. Open this new tab. Oh, this is a little. I don't want to share this tab. It's a little too big. Where's the smaller one? Let's see. Maybe this is it. Okay. Nope. Still too damn big. Why can't they just get okay. All right. There we are. I think maybe that's it. Please. Close enough. Yeah, this actually is happening. The Forbidden Door pay per view. Again, this is a shock for a lot of people, including myself. Watching this, this could be happening. I mean, not just in the world of wrestling. I mean, I can't wait to see. There's a lot of great, matches they can have. I mean, a lot of like interesting, um, a lot of stuff that could be, a lot of things that people say would be, I mean, come on. There's some stuff that we all want to actually see. Um, let's see, Heyman versus Tanahashi. Let's see, Naito, maybe Naito versus Andrade. No. Oh, maybe let's see, Naito versus. Let's see, maybe Adam Cole or something, something like that. Um, and the Kenta versus CM Punk has to be here. Kenta and CM Punk, let's do it. Come on, I want that. Um, that'd be nice. And other things, other matches that should be something that people want to go see. I can't wait to see what type of stuff they're planning for this. It looks really, really good, and I can't wait to see what happens here. I'm hopeful that this is going to be a lot better than oh than the G1 Supercard, which the last big crossover. Um, oh goodness, that was a thing. I actually reviewed this pay per view. Um, actually, it's somewhere and such. Uh, but yeah, it was the thing is about that show was is that the mixed stuff from Ring of Honor in New Japan was fine. ROH stuff was garbage, which I watched live. I was like, why is Mega Ran, who I love, I enjoy Mega Ran, and I think he's great, but he should not be doing no rapping and such. Like it seems so WWE, and looking was the booker at the time, and, it does fit that whole thing. But man, and it was looked so. I mean, it looked cheap. I mean, the ladder match. I'm like, why would you have a ladder so big that can actually hit the? Why don't you space it out? Space the whole thing out. WE would space this stuff out and make sure the ladder will not hit its fans. What Bush League? Ring of Honor. I'm like, this is Bush League. This is Bush League, man. I was like, this is Bush League. The match was just. I mean, I know people hate Marty Scurll, and what he did was 100% wrong, by the way. Dude should be out of wrestling, and yet he's still there, wrestling and such. The absolute worst. The only place he can work is Puerto Rico and everything else. But then pro wrestling always keeps the scumbags or whatever. But he was really over, and people liked him at the time. And I'm surprised they didn't put the title on him. Hindsight's always there, but they have Matt Taven, who, my goodness, Matt Taven, who, oh Lord, man, if you want to talk about a call wrestler, just someone who is just destined for mid card action, which is fine, but Matt Taven is your new champion. I'm like, why, Matt Taven? Ugh. It was not a good show. It was not a good show. It wasn't a good show. You know? Uh But yeah, that's the issue was just so much of a divide. My hope is for this, the Forbidden Door, is that it doesn't have that type of stank on it. AEW, for the most part, seems to have the wrestlers are good and all the good stuff there. My hope is that when they do have the Forbidden Door, they do have AEW matches and New Japan matches and everything. The mixed matches are pretty good, but I do want to see some AEW matches there that aren't, to like say, okay, New Japan ain't gonna be the one carrying the load. I became a fan of New Japan after the show, after G1 Supercard. I didn't want to be anywhere near ROH afterwards. But here's a question for you: would think Ring of Honor will have any type of thing with Forbidden Door or anything else, or maybe a show during it? Who knows? I mean, people are still waiting for that announcement that they're going to do something with Warner TV or something, maybe True TV. I don't know, because that was originally a lot of people thought that announcement was going to be. Uh, I thought that was going to be the announcement. ROH would get a TV deal, since Sinclair Broadcasting said this was the last airing, at least last week, the airing of Ring of Honor, so they're completely done. There's no Sinclair, so they don't know what to do. So now, what's going to be the plan? I don't know what the Ring of Honor thing is going to be, but I am excited. I wouldn't be surprised by Forbidden Door. Ring of Honor will have at least a TV deal or a streaming deal, something like that. I think AEW will probably be on HBO Max sooner rather than later. I could be wrong there, but with this and all the other stuff and the momentum, I think that the AEW will continue to have there's going to be a lot bigger people, a lot of eyes watching AEW and everything else. My personal opinion. Could be wrong, but that's what I see. Anyway, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and liking and all this stuff. Anyway, this is Duke CT. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.